You're listening to Play Transform Better. This is where we help business leaders navigate transformation, technology, and change at scale. In today's Trend Alert, we'll break down what's shaping May 2025. Now, let's join your hosts.
Welcome to the deep dive. We've got some really fascinating material you sent us this month. It all seems to point towards, well, a really rapid evolution in business transformation, especially looking at April 2025.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just, small steps. We're seeing some fundamental shifts in how tech's impacting the way businesses run.
Exactly. Going through all those documents, the reports, the blogs, even some of those internal strategy papers you shared, three big themes really stood out for me.
Okay.
We're going to dig into this thing called Agentic AI. Then there's the evolution of enterprise mobile, which is maybe, a bit overlooked, but super important. And the big one, sustainable tech.
Right.
And of course, underpinning it all is the human side, the people factor.
Yeah.
So the idea is let's connect these dots for you, help you see how it all fits together and what it might mean for your organization.
Okay, sounds good. Let's dive right into Agentic AI then. This feels like it's moving really fast, from just a concept to something, practical.
It really is. And what's interesting is the transition we're seeing. Think of it less like AI just answering your question.
Like a chatbot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Or even a co-pilot just helping out. Agentic AI is more about systems that can proactively figure out goals and then take independent action to actually achieve them. Microsoft's April update, one of the pieces you sent actually touches on this. They talk about moving from AI as a co-pilot to an agent, someone or something that can act on its own.
That's a huge difference. Can you give us a concrete example, something happening now, not just theory?
Sure. Let's take procurement. We're seeing active pilots. This came up in a couple of reports where businesses set the big picture stuff.
Yeah.
Budget, delivery window, maybe some ethical sourcing rules.
Okay.
And then the agentic AI system just takes over and negotiates with suppliers, handles the contract updates,
Yeah.
finalizes the actual order all by itself, but within those rules.
Wow. So it's like delegating a whole chunk of the process. What's behind this? What's making this possible now?
Well, technically, if you look back maybe late 2024, we saw these open source agent frameworks pop up, things like AutoGPT, which basically lets AI figure out its own steps to reach a goal. And Meta had something called the React architecture.
Ah, right. I remember hearing about those.
Yeah. So those laid the groundwork. Now, the big enterprise players are taking those ideas and refining them, making them robust enough for real business use.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, I think, because it's not just a better tool, it's AI becoming more like a digital colleague almost.
Exactly.
That raises some massive questions, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, as soon as AI gets more autonomy, you immediately run into big questions about governance, risk, trust. How do you manage that?
Especially in regulated areas,
Entirely.
finance, healthcare.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Crucial there. It really forces you to ask, how is your organization thinking about internal controls, about compliance, as these AI systems get, smarter and more independent?
Okay, so AI is taking more initiative. Let's shift gears a bit. Another area you mentioned from the materials was enterprise mobile. Doesn't always get the same buzz as AI, but sounds like big things are happening there too.
That's a really good point. It's maybe quieter, but the progress in enterprise mobile is pretty substantial. There was that Sensor Tower report from April. It lined up with some other market analysis you sent showing, $69 billion in non-gaming mobile spend in 2024.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. But the real story isn't just the money. It's the intelligence getting baked into these apps now.
Intelligence. How so? Give me an example beyond just, checking emails on your phone.
Okay, think about expense tools like Imburse that came up in one of the articles. Their AI-enhanced mobile tool doesn't just let you enter receipt data.
Right.
It can actually read the receipt, figure out the category, check it against policy, and even suggest what to do next, all with minimal input from you.
So it's moving from being just a window into the system to being an actual assistant that helps you do stuff, make decisions right there on the spot.
Precisely. That's the core shift. Mobile apps becoming intelligent assistants, helping people make decisions out at the edge of the business where the work actually happens.
And I guess that has real practical benefits in lots of different fields.
Oh, for sure. Logistics, think route optimization, proactive problem alerts, construction, managing workflows, tracking materials on sprawling sites. Retail, giving floor staff instant info on products, customer history.
Yeah, I can see that.
It just reduces friction, cuts delays, makes workflows smarter, makes you wonder, how could that kind of mobile intelligence streamline your operations?
Good question. Okay, let's pivot to the third major theme, sustainable tech. This definitely feels like it's moved from a nice to have to something central.
Absolutely right. It's gone mainstream,
Yeah.
strategically speaking. April was significant for U.S. climate disclosure rules,
Mhm.
specifically the SEC pushing for better reporting on Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions.
That's direct emissions and emissions from purchased energy, right?
Exactly. And that regulatory pressure is making companies look really hard at the environmental impact of everything, including their IT, their digital footprint.
So it's way beyond just recycling printer paper now.
Oh, yeah, miles beyond. We saw this interesting example, I think it's in one of your reports, about these mid-sized manufacturers. They were deliberately moving IT workloads to data centers picked for energy efficiency.
Really?
Yeah, and even tying carbon intensity metrics directly into their digital transformation plans.
That's a fundamental shift in thinking about IT investment.
It really is. It shows sustainability isn't just a compliance checkbox anymore or, a CSR thing.
Hmm.
It's getting woven right into core IT strategy. It's even affecting access to capital. Investors are looking at this.
Yeah.
Which leads to the question, are your CIO and your sustainability lead talking? Are they aligned on this?
Another crucial point. Okay, these are massive tech shifts, agentic AI, smarter mobile, sustainable IT. But what about the people? The teams actually using this stuff? Feels like the human element is key.
It's absolutely vital. Amidst all the tech buzz in April, there was also this renewed focus on just workforce readiness. And it's not only about, say, AI training,
It's broader than that.
much broader. It's about building a culture that can adapt,
Yeah.
that's willing to actually embrace these changes.
We saw that echoed in some of those surveys you included, right? The ones from transformation leaders.
Exactly. Multiple surveys came out in April, and a consistent finding was that over 60%, clear majority of leaders see employee adaptability as the biggest single hurdle to actually scaling up innovation.
That totally makes sense. You can have the fanciest tech,
Right.
but if your teams don't trust it or don't know how to use it or just resist it,
Then you get what some people call digitized inertia. You spend all this money on tech, but nothing really changes because the people side wasn't addressed.
Yeah.
The human part of transformation is just fundamental. You won't get the benefits without it.
Okay, so let's try and pull this together. Looking at the sources for April 2025, the big takeaways seem to be transformation speeding up, demanding more maturity, more thought. AI is stepping up, becoming more agentic. Mobile's getting way smarter. Sustainability is now locked into tech strategy.
And people. Human adaptability is the absolute key to making any of it actually work.
That sums it up well.
Yeah, it really does. And maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Considering all these interconnected trends, agentic AI, intelligent mobile, sustainable tech, and the need for human readiness, which one do you think will hit your organization hardest or offer the biggest opportunity in the next few months? And what's one proactive step you could maybe take now?
Definitely something important to reflect on. Well, if this deep dive into the April 2025 trends gave you some useful insights, please do share it with your teams, your leadership. Join us next time as we keep tracking the forces shaping business and helping you transform better.